going on, YouTube, fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end here to full story and all the details in the case. For the day one, fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Let's get right into the story. The bond between a mother and son is most of the time a strong one. If you are a young man and grew up in a two-parent household, you definitely probably love your father, but a mother's love is different for boys. While Pops might show you tough love, Mommy is there to encourage you. She might even take a different approach and baby you a little bit to get the message across. It makes that bond between a mother and son even more powerful if it's no man around, because now all you have is each other. Most young men raised by a single mother will do whatever she tells them to do because in their mind, Pops was young and my mother sacrificed everything to raise me, so I owe her. Some men as they grow up, they look out for mom dupes, but they go out here, start dating, working, living their own life. But for others, their loyalty and love for their mother is so deep, they ask for advice in every part of their life. Mom helps them choose women, careers, even how to handle things that a father should probably be there to coach them through. That relationship could be a good thing, but depending on what type time your mother is on, that bond could turn to a young man crashing out. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we'll be taking it to Chicago, Illinois, to discuss a case of a mother that convinced her son and his girlfriend to backdoor her childhood homie. Back in 2018, Ernest Collins was a 22-year-old man living in Rockford, Illinois, about 2 hours outside of Chicago. The young man was navigating and trying to figure out life, even being in a committed relationship with his girlfriend at the time, Cassandra Green, who was 21 years old. The two had a pretty normal relationship. They were into the same things, like most young couples, hanging out, looking on social media together, and just vibing. But one major part of Ernest's world was his close relationship with his mother, 38-year-old Candace Jones. Candace lived in the Marquette Park neighborhood in Chicago. So often, Ernest would take Cassandra there to kick it with his mother at her house. They would all talk, have a few drinks, and just kick back. Around about December 2017, while all three were together, Candace saw her son and Cassandra on social media scrolling. Cassandra noticed a childhood friend she grew up with since she was about 10 years old take a picture with a lot of money and drugs. When Ernest asked her, like, who is that? She stated, that's my friend Mikey, or his real name, Michael Armand Diaz. Candace saw the picture Michael posted as well. She then started to ask Cassandra questions, like, does he always have that kind of money on him or product? How long did they know each other? Also asking her, where does Michael stay? And does he trust her? Michael at the time lived in Naperville, Illinois. The 20-year-old was a music artist and had his own spot with a roommate. Candace advised her son, Ernest, like, bro, you gonna rob him. I don't care what you say. As they told Cassandra the plan, she agreed to reach out to Michael. Excited to hear from his old homegirl, the two chopped it up. He told her where he was living at, he had a roommate, and other things. Cassandra agreed she would come spend some time with him real soon. After the conversation, Candace seemed to become almost obsessed with her son robbing Michael, thinking he had the money and drugs from the picture. She even went to a hardware store and bought certain items that can be used to pick a lock. She let Ernest practice with the tools by attempting to break in her own home, but the items wouldn't open the door. Candace then told Cassandra, well, you just gonna have to set up a date with Michael and the roommate to get them out the house so Ernest could break in. Cassandra would keep contacting Michael on social media in an attempt to set up times and dates to meet up, in which Candace would advise her what to say before eventually stating, not yet, not today. Michael in the blind, thinking he was just politicking with an old homegirl, didn't even know Cassandra had a boyfriend. Then on January 14th, 2018, Candace called Ernest and Cassandra and stated today is the day, telling her son, "You about to do this," advising them to come by the house to grab a gun. The young couple arrived, grabbed a blick, hopped into the whip, and headed towards Naperville to Michael's house. Cassandra hit him on Snapchat. She stated she was on her way and they should go to Walmart to get some drink and turn up. The young man agreed and sent her his exact address. Ernest hopped in the back seat, laid down, and covered himself up with a blanket. As Cassandra pulled up about 9:30 p.m., Michael dapped up his roommate like, "All right, bro, I'm gone," and got in the front seat of the car. As the two talked for a minute, Ernest popped out and shots went off, hitting Michael twice in the back of the head. They immediately called Candace. She told her son to put him in the back seat and drive to Chicago to her house. So Ernest and Cassandra put Michael in the back seat and covered him up with the same blanket. When they made it to his mother's house in Chicago, they took Michael out the car and took him into Candace's garage. The three then went in his pockets. They took his phone, his wallet, and a vape pen, plus his keys, before putting his body in a bin and leaving him at Candace's house. 2 days later, Ernest and Cassandra waited for Michael's roommate to leave the house and broke in and took multiple items. Candace called Ernest, telling him to come move the body to a vacant house next door to hers about a day later, in which he did. About 4 days after Michael went missing, his peoples and roommate called police. They responded to Whispering Hills Drive and a call of a missing person. As they talked to the roommate, he stated the last time he saw Michael was on January 14th. It was now the 18th, and he was with some girl. Back at Candace's house, she saw Cassandra getting paranoid, so they attempted to set a fire to burn evidence, like Michael's items. Candace looked over at her and allegedly stated, "If you say anything about this, I will get rid of you and your mother," as Ernest was caught in the middle. About 6 months would go by before one day, Candace woke up, called Chicago police and stated, "It's a bad smell coming from next door. I think it's a body, and I think it's the missing young man, Michael." She then stated she was told to free his soul. When police arrived to the vacant home next to Candace, they found the body, and it was in fact determined to be Michael. They searched the area to find his cell phone and other items partially burnt. As the investigation started to get deep, they realized Michael was shot execution style, and his phone showed Snapchat messages between him and Cassandra. They went to the young lady's home and found the vehicle matching the description that Michael's roommate gave them of the car he was last seen getting into. They searched the vehicle and found blood and a spent shell casing. As she was taken into custody, Cassandra detailed the plot and told everything. How Candace got her and Ernest to plot on her childhood friend because of the picture he posted online. Police also went to Candace's house and found the gun used in the hit. They picked up Ernest, as Cassandra stated he was the shooter. All three, mother's son and son's girlfriend, were taken into custody, charged with first-degree hit, kidnapping, robbery, and other charges. As Michael's family got the news of who set their son up, they couldn't believe it, and that it was Cassandra. His mother felt Cassandra should get most of the time because she knew Michael and the family since she was 10 years old. As the case started making its way to trial for her cooperation, Cassandra's murder charges were dropped, and she was sentenced to 21 years for robbery. This year, Candace, now 43 years old, was found guilty of all charges, accused of being the mastermind who set the play in motion. She faces up to 80 years and is scheduled for sentencing in December of this year. Her son Ernest was also found guilty of all charges. He is set for sentencing in November and faces life in prison. Rest in peace to Michael. I send my deepest prayers and condolences to his family. At just 20 years old, you don't think if I post this picture of money, somebody's mother might send a son to harm me. This situation was wild. Like Candace wanted to make her son crash out, then call police after allegedly threatening Cassandra, telling her not to tell. As far as Cassandra, she was dead wrong. All she had to do was tell Candace, like, "I don't even talk to bro no more," or simply not contact Michael in the first place. In my opinion, they was all with it. I bet none of that money or product was on Michael or in the house, because the night of the hit, When him and Cassandra was talking, they agreed to drive to Walmart to steal a bottle, meaning bro probably didn't even have no bread. This was a cruddy situation. Shorty lost his life because of a picture, and the mother threw herself and her son in a prison cell, all because of greed. So remember, we got to succeed not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Man, crazy story. Rest in peace, that young man. I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. Let me know what y'all think about the situation in the comments. Definitely be respectful. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. It's another episode of Hood Tales. It's your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.